Alright, it's pretty hot outside, so I didn't tape this whole process, but basically if you have the Automower 450X, 430 and some others, and it is dragging the ground and leaving stripes in your yard, even if you have it at the highest height adjustment and you can't adjust it up, then you should look into this part that I found broken. I'll show a quick clip of what my yard looked like and why I need to look at this. Alright, so now I have my 450X split open. Plenty of videos on YouTube on how to do that. But basically, this is your height adjuster right here. You've got a little threaded bar back behind this that raises and lowers the actual motor where it's attached. And what happens, in my case, I had a stick get caught in it. And I guess when I went to raise or lower, it actually broke off at the top of this, where this clips in. There's two little tabs. This is the old piece, and you can notice that they are sheared off right about here. So that caused this little piece to pop out. Those tabs are broken. I found them laying around in here. And then this thing was just slammed down to the ground. So if you're going to replace it, it's only like a $20 part. Don't buy the height adjustment motor in this back piece. All you need is this front piece right here that actually holds the motor. And when you buy that part for your mower, you're going to have to take motor unplugged, screws, this is going to pop out, and you're going to have to go from the bottom and take all of the actual blade attachments off so you can get the motor out to get this new piece into place. This is spring loaded, make sure you have it set correctly. This folds down into those tabs, and then yeah, basically put it back together. I still got a little assembly to do, so take a video once I'm done. Alright, so other than the $20 plastic part, I ran the wires again, put them all back through their connectors, and the only thing I put back in that I had to clip off was a zip tie, and I assume this is to keep the cables off of the motor when it gets hot on the wheels maybe. Plug it back in, and now I'm going to put the shell back together. Oh, I left out earlier, these are little retention clips for the plastic right here, so make sure you put those back on too, and then 2 screws on top. Alright, as long as we're down here, as long as you have this thing apart, if you have a wobbly blade, right, and it's tearing up your actual blade guard, which has happened to me in the past, from the factory I had these three screws loose, and on the back of them there's 2 little nubs, 3 little nubs, need to be lined up, so put it on there, let it fall into place, and torque those down a little bit. You got those screws tight now, so you shouldn't be able to move this, get any real rattle out of it by shaking up and down if these screws are tight. And again, they're below the actual bearing right here. Make sure not to forget when you're putting this back together, before you put the top clamshell on, you've got to run your cables and make sure all of these seals seat right here, so you're not going to get water intrusion. Then the top, then the clamshell. Alright. Test drive time in the dark, so you can just start. Make sure we don't put any new stripes in the grass. Those are the stripes for my riding mower, because it was out of balance. But, little gizmo looks to be doing about the right height. Maybe a little low. Going full speed, unlike you'll see in that previous video where he was going slower, because he was bogging down on the ground. I think we have a fix. I'm going to try adjusting height now. Alright, so I went in and adjusted the height from 8 to 7. It was zeroed out before actually. So, it's looking about right now. Very nice.